Have you ever stopped to think about what lies beneath the soil of the United States? While everyone looks to the sky, dreaming of rockets, stars, and aliens, some say the real mystery is right beneath our feet. But what hides down there is something few have the courage to investigate. Thousands of people work in secret underground facilities, far from daylight, without truly knowing what's happening around them. They're engineers, technicians, scientists, all sworn to silence, bound by protocols that would make anyone think twice before accepting the job. But why? Why hide something so deep? And most importantly, what could justify such extreme security? Reports from former employees of these bases describe tunnels stretching for miles, connecting entire cities. Some say certain structures go down more than 10 stories below the surface, equipped with technology that shouldn't even exist yet. But the most frightening part is what they can't talk about. People disappearing, restricted areas where even authorized personnel aren't allowed to enter, and projects so classified that the government itself denies their existence. And then comes the question no one wants to answer. Were these bases created just to protect information? Or to hide something the world isn't ready to know? Working in an underground base might seem like a privilege, but what if it's the opposite? What if the greatest danger isn't what's outside, but what's trapped down there with you? Imagine stepping into an elevator that descends for several minutes, each floor quieter and colder than the last. The walls are steel, the air is heavy, and your phone signal disappears within the first few meters. Welcome to the underground of America's secret bases, where information is more valuable than gold, and silence is a matter of survival. But what really happens down there? Some claim these facilities host experiments that defy human understanding, reverse engineering of extraterrestrial technology, genetic research involving humans and machines, and even tests with dimensional portals. Sounds like science fiction, maybe, but then why do so many former employees report the same things, even at great personal risk? Some mention metallic noises coming from areas where no one should be. Others talk about creatures kept in total isolation, life forms that aren't entirely human. And there are those who swear they've seen tunnels connecting these bases to known military sites, such as Area 51 and the Cheyenne Mountain Complex. The strangest thing is the pattern. Everyone who's worked in these bases describes the same kind of fear, a silent, constant fear that doesn't come from outside, but from within. As if every step taken underground were being watched by something invisible. But the big question is, if these bases really hide something so extraordinary, why still allow ordinary people to work there? Is it a cover-up? Or do they need controlled witnesses, people who see the impossible but can never tell? And what if the real experiment isn't what happens in the secret rooms, but the very act of working down there? Little is known about who really works in these underground bases. No public badges, no civil records, only contracts that vanish along with those who sign them. They're ordinary people, technicians, engineers, maintenance workers. But once inside, they exist only for the system. Reports claim employees are blindfolded when taken to their exact work locations. Each sector is isolated, no windows, no access to other floors, constant surveillance. Conversations are forbidden, shifts change without notice, and orders come from faceless voices. No one knows who's above or below. But the most frightening part isn't the control. It's the forgetting. Many report memory loss after leaving the base. Entire days simply disappear. Some wake up with scars they don't remember getting, others with dreams so vivid they can't tell what's real. And when they try to talk about what they've experienced, something strange happens. Recordings fail, voices vanish, and certain details seem to erase themselves from memory, as if they never existed. Some believe there's an electromagnetic field within these bases, capable of interfering not only with devices, but with the human brain itself. Others talk about substances in the air, microdoses of compounds that keep everyone calm, obedient, and confused enough to never grasp the full picture. But perhaps the most disturbing explanation is another. What if those who forget weren't simply released? What if they were replaced? After all, what's easier, hiding a secret or erasing those who discovered it? If there's one thing the few former employees of these underground bases have in common, it's the look of someone who's seen the impossible and survived. In the cold, silent corridors, there are entire sectors where no human voices are heard, only machines, metallic echoes, and sometimes something that seems to breathe. Various reports mention rooms where experiments are conducted without any official record. Biological tests, genetic engineering, and even fusions between human technology and something clearly not from this planet. Some say this research stems from secret deals with extraterrestrial entities, while others believe their attempts to create hybrid beings, perfect, obedient soldiers. But there's something even darker. Several witnesses describe glass tanks containing human-like forms, connected by wires, tubes, and unknown fluids. Others speak of creatures that seem to look back, as if aware, silently begging to be freed. And the strangest thing is that when these rumors leak, the government never outright denies them. They just label them conspiracy theories. But if it were truly false, why have so many whistleblowers disappeared right after speaking out? Now imagine working in a place where you see these things every day, where you have to pretend nothing happened, where a single question could seal your fate. Are these bases really protecting the country, or hiding something the world was never meant to know? Inside these underground bases, silence is more than a rule, it's a sentence. Every employee signs confidentiality agreements so strict that even their families can't know what they do below. But the real fear doesn't come from the paper, it comes from the consequences of breaking that pact. There are stories of people who tried to reveal what they saw and vanished without a trace. Others were declared mentally unstable, forcibly institutionalized, or victims of accidents no one can explain. Coincidence, or an efficient way to erase those who threaten the truth. Imagine the psychological pressure of living in that environment. No windows, no sunlight, no sense of time. You start an 8-hour shift and leave after 14, without knowing if it's day or night. And in the end, when you return to the surface, everything feels different. The colors, the sounds, even the air feels fake. As if the world above were just an illusion, and reality lies hidden in the depths below. Some former employees report developing paranoia, insomnia, and even hallucinations. Others claim to hear voices, whispers from something still down there, calling to them. And some say those voices aren't human. But what could exist down there so terrifying that it justifies such secrecy? Could it be a global threat? Or the fear that humanity might discover it was never truly in control of its own planet? Some say that deep within the underground bases of the United States, the truth about our world is literally buried. But the question no one can answer is, why so much secrecy? Some believe they hide technologies that defy the laws of physics, artifacts recovered from something non-human. Others speak of genetic experiments that could never be conducted on the surface, involving fusions between man and machine, and even between man and something from beyond. But the most terrifying claim comes from those few who escaped and swear it's true. What's trapped down there is alive. Imagine being one of the few to witness something like that. Something the government denies, but you know exists. Would you go home as if nothing happened? Could you sleep, knowing what you saw? Or would you live in constant fear that someone might come to silence you? These bases aren't just military installations. They are tombs of secrets, where what's discovered never sees the light of day again. And for those who work there, it's not just a job, it's a sentence of eternal silence. So next time you hear about an ultra-secret underground facility somewhere in the American desert, ask yourself, is it really just another military base, or is it the beating heart of something humanity is not yet ready to face? Because sometimes, the real hell isn't beneath the earth. It's hidden within the secrets that were never meant to be revealed.